Hey guys, Mr. Bowman here. Today's learning objective is in yellow and we are learning to divide fractions. Dividing fractions is typically one of the more complicated fraction skills, but I'm going to show us a shortcut or a cheat to make it one of the easiest ones. So let's get straight into a question. Question 1. Well, what would 2/3 divided by 1/2 be? And the shortcut or the trick that I want us to do is what we're actually going to do is we're going to change the division into, and we're going to make it multiplication because I think multiplication is the easiest of the skills. Multiplication. Do apologize if I spell that wrong. And what we can do is actually we're going to go 2/3, and that second half we're going to turn that fraction upside down. So if you have a look, we've gone from 1/2, we've turned that upside down, 2/1. And then now that it's multiplication, we can just follow our top times top, bottom times bottom approach. So top times top is 4, bottom times bottom is 3. So that means the answer to 2/3 divided by 1/2, well, that's going to be 4/3. So top times top, bottom times bottom, after we've done our switch. So let's change pen colors. Let's get into a couple other questions just to demonstrate or highlight the skill. So question number 2, 4/6 divided by 5/7. And what we're going to do here is we're going to switch the second part and change that into multiplication. So we're going to go 4/6 times 7/5. So we've switched that around. We can then do top times top, well, that comes to 28. Bottom times bottom, that's going to come to 30. And we can then look to simplify that fraction. It looks like they've both got a 2 in common, so that's going to become 14/15. Awesome. Okay, let's have a look at another scenario. So let's have a look at 8/10, and let's say I've divided that by 2/5. What would that become? So again, we've got a division. Division's a bit annoying, but we can make it multiplication. So let's flip that second part around. So 8/10 times 5/2. And that is going to become 5 times 8, which is 40, and 10 times 2, which is 20. And that is nice and easy. 40 divided by 20, well, that's going to come to 2. Awesome. So we are wrapping through these. So let's try some other ones. So let's try 1/2 divided by 3/5. We're going to follow our same step. We're going to flip the second half or the division and change that to multiplication. So let's flip that to 5/3. So we've got 1/2. So that first part, if you notice, that never changes, but the second part does change. It flips around 5/3. And we can then do top times top, which is 5, and bottom times bottom, which is 6. And it doesn't look like we can simplify that fraction in any way. Let's have a look at another example. So I'm going to do some big numbers this time. 10/11 times 6/7. Oh, apologies, that should be divided, shouldn't it? So we're going to go divide by 6/7. Our first step, as always, it's division. Let's flip it into a multiplication. 10 divided by 11 times 7 divided by 6. So well done. And then we're going to do top times top, which is 70. Bottom times bottom, 66. So I can see they've both got a 2 in common. Let's take that 2 out. That's going to become 35 divided by 33. And it doesn't look like that fraction can be simplified anymore. So let's have a look again. So question 6, we'll probably do 2 more. Let's do 2/9 divided by 1/3. See what that comes to. Again, let's do our flip of the division. Flip that into multiplication. So 2/9 times 3/1. Top times top is 6. Bottom times bottom is 9. They look to me like they both got a 3 in common. So I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 3 divided by 3 is 3. Sorry, 9 divided by 3 is 3, and that gives us 2/3. And finally, let's do one more question. So let's do maybe a tricky question. Let's do 4/20 divided by 2/7. Let's see what that comes to when we simplify it. So again, let's flip that into a multiplication. So that's 4 divided by 20 times 7 divided by 2. Let's then do our top times top, bottom times bottom. Top times top, 4 times 7 is 28, and 20 times 2 is 40. And then let's have a look, what could these have in common? Well, it looks like they both have a 4 in common this time. 28 divided by 4, well, that's going to come to 7. And 40 divided by 10, so 40 divided by 4, that's going to come to 10. So just to recap, we've done 7 quick questions on dividing fractions. And I just want to note, division is normally quite hard, but with our flip, we can change the second half of our fraction or second half of our equation. We can turn that into a multiplication by switching it upside down. Hopefully you found this video or this process on dividing fractions useful. Now let's get into heaps more practice. And if you're still listening, today's code word will be Charizard. So make sure you put that in the comment section below just to see who is watching this video.